Welcome to Marital and Family Mediation. Today I want to take the time to quickly review your syllabus with you and introduce myself to you. Some of you have had me as a professor before. I hope you don't mind mentoring those of you who are new to teaching and learning with me. I only have about 15 minutes to review this with you today. I am imagining, and if you haven't yet done this, requesting and recommending that you have already printed the syllabus from Blackboard. It's under the Content tab, and that you have read this syllabus line by line more than once. It will become your reference throughout this course. It tells you exactly what I want you to do well in this course. So you need to have it handy and refer to it weekly. I do not have the time to read it line by line today, so I'm going to cover highlights, but I welcome, especially this week, week one, all of your questions, any confusion that I can clarify. This is your week to really orient yourself and start the course on solid ground. Okay, so I'm imagining you have this syllabus in front of you. You've at least opened it on Blackboard. Maybe you've printed it out. It's in front of you. You can take notes. First page, my contact information. Please do not hesitate to call me. Stop by my office. My office hours this semester are Tuesday from 1:15 to 2:15 and Thursday 3 to 6. I'm also available to you to set up an appointment, either a phone or an in-person appointment at your convenience. If you want and need an immediate response, I highly recommend you use email. I check my email several times a day, try to get back to you within 48 hours at the latest. And I check Blackboard frequently as well. But I'm also a bit distant at times with your discussion because I don't want to interfere with your group work, with your open, honest discussion. Anytime you want me to be more involved, I welcome an email, a request saying, I'd like you to respond to this post. I'd like you to help us with this. I think once you talk to me and get to know me, you're going to see that I'm an open, welcoming person. You don't need to be afraid of me. I do grade your work, and so it's important that we understand each other. Okay, let me go on. Now, I have actually had a full-time mediation practice. I have been a mediator now, I think it's close to 30 years, since I received my law degree many, many years ago, long before I started teaching. And my first mediation, for those of you who've read my Vita and bio at the NCRP website, shows that my first mediation was child welfare mediation. This is a long-held passion, and I'm very happy to hear of your interest. It is not easy to do effective marital and family mediation. People are often in pain. They're very emotional. You are going to see them at their worst. And so it takes the best of NCRP skill, probably a lifetime of practice and conferring with the Academy of Family Mediators, the Association for Conflict Resolution, myself and others who share this practice. What I'm happy to do in this course, I've decided to introduce you to the family mediators, and Marilyn McKnight stepped down as the president of the Association for Conflict Resolution a couple of years back. She and her husband are actually the family mediators who first taught me family mediation, along with others, but they are very well respected nationwide and around the world. I thought I would introduce you to their book. We will cover, unfortunately, the course description focuses on divorce. We will cover separation problems. I'm not sure why they're saying traditional and non-traditional. Right now, with the recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling, maybe this doesn't need to be said. Historically, before that U.S. Supreme Court ruling, the gay couples who came to me for mediation needed to do it outside of the court system because they feared having the court interfere with their parenting, with their relationship. That is no longer true. And so we will not distinguish between traditional, non-traditional. I see mediation and separation problems as similar. We will talk about property division and child custody. You will be reading about this, some of the legal, tax, financial aspects. My focus will be on the mediation process, and I want to be broad enough to include couples and families, particularly parents, who want to embrace mediation, not to divorce or separate, but to try to heal and build their relationships. I hope you share this interest. It will make the course a little bit more complex, far-reaching, but it certainly represents my passion for family marital mediation. Now, I am a lawyer, and the person who developed this course was a lawyer, mediator. So you will learn to distinguish between litigation, arbitration, and mediation. I don't know how many of you, I don't think any of you are lawyers studying mediation. I don't know if any of you plan to go on to law school to become lawyer mediators, but even if you are a non-lawyer mediator working with a divorce, separation, where the law is relevant and important, you will need to be collaborating with lawyers, at least encouraging your clients to educate themselves and get legal advice, because you will be risking unauthorized practice of law if you attempt to be a lawyer mediator, but you're not. I hope this doesn't confuse you too much. What I'm saying in short is you need to understand these distinctions regardless of whether you're a non-lawyer mediator or a lawyer mediator. Okay, I'm not going to read the course objectives or the learning outcomes, but I will be stressing for those of you who've never had me as a professor, I use the learning outcomes to evaluate your work. I use every line to give you credit or subtract points. So please use them when proofing your own postings, your own work. Ask yourself, am I doing what Professor Erb is seeking? If you do this, I guarantee you will receive more credit in the course. Okay, let's go to page 2. Required texts. Now, I believe, and I have a questionnaire that I sent out to several of you before the class began to ask if any of you are also getting your master's in marital and family therapy, because I need to know if you have worked with Virginia Satir's work or have done any of your own personal family work. I believe very strongly that if you intend to actually do family and marital mediation, like family and marital therapy and social work, if some of you have your MSW or are getting your MSW, family mediators need to do their own personal work. We cannot bring our baggage, our blind spots, our potential with our unconscious for projection, and hopefully as NCRP students you were introduced to all of this in earlier courses. We simply cannot bring them into the family and marital mediation room. If you are going to be triggered with old pain, conflict in your own family, or with current challenges with your spouse, with your children, I would guarantee it will happen in the marital and family mediation room, because as I said, you are going to be working with grieving, angry, challenged human beings, and you need to have done your own healing work in order to be prepared to do this. So I am asking you to work with Virginia Satir's, one of her most respected texts, The New People Making, along with reading the book on divorce family mediation. This book will help introduce you to doing your own inner work, your own inner intrapersonal peace building with your own family issues, your own family past. And if you already have done counseling and therapy related to your family, it works very well with helping you go deeper and do something new and fresh. Critically important for this course. Virginia Satir, if you don't know, is one of the world's most famous family therapists. She is one of the most beloved around the world. She had an uncanny ability to take complicated processes within families and put them into simple terms that resonated with families around the world. So I look forward to working with you and working with her work. For those of you wanting to start a family mediation practice, and I will say, of all the types of mediation happening in the world today, the one that is most likely to grow a full-time mediation practice, and not the most lucrative, that tends to be the commercial, the litigated case in the commercial realm, but a nice lifestyle, a nice income, is the family mediation practice. Now, I did probably more family mediation in my private practice than any other mediation that I did. I did labor management, I did business, commercial, I did government, employee relations, I did a wide range. Family mediation was the most frequent case referred to me. It wasn't necessarily my favorite case. I would say these are some of the most challenging cases for the parties as well as the mediator. But it was an important practice because many times, especially in divorce and separation, parents of children who are under 18, the younger, the more volatile, are in a lot of pain and ill-equipped to resolve any of their nasty, violent conflict. So if you are interested in doing this, despite what I've just said, and I'm going to be honest with you, Forrest Molston is a highly successful Brentwood, Southern California family mediator. He's a lawyer mediator. He has published a book on how to build your private practice. I highly recommend it. Now, you need to be an entrepreneur and comfortable with marketing, building referral networks, doing financials, doing everything, your own complicated entrepreneurial taxes. All that's involved with having your own small business. I'm saying this because some of you might actually want to consider getting some education in how to be your own successful entrepreneur. I've seen many students, including those who have the family and marital therapy degree, along with NCRP, failing to grow a business because they simply don't know how to do so. And that's not something we cover in this course, but there are ways that you can get this education. Okay, let me go on with the grading policy. I do grade a class participation. I expect intensive group work. I expect you to practice these skills with each other. You will actually be doing simulations, family divorce separation simulations with each other. You will be posting these if you've had mediation with me or another professor who asked you to do a YouTube video. That's what you'll be doing. And you will be evaluating each other's skills. So group work is essential. And I detail, I'm not going to read it, but I detail exactly what I'm giving credit for here on page 2. Your midterm analysis paper is going to be a family systems analysis. You are going to be looking at all the different concepts, processes that occur within a complex family system, such as self-worth of the individual family members, communication between the individual family members, what their unspoken rules are for behavior and interaction. You will be doing this and then proposing 1 to 3 interventions with rationale, given the family system you're analyzing. Now, you're welcome to pick your own family. I will keep this confidential. I would suggest you don't identify yourself or family members so that it is confidential. And if that's uncomfortable, you can pick another family of your choice. Perhaps you're actually trying to help a family right now. You're working in a community, in a school, in an organization with a family. That's fine too. That will be turned in, and the date is listed, the due date is listed in your calendar. Your final analysis is going to be evaluating 2 of your classmates' mediations and giving recommendations as well as strengths. Now, please take me seriously with this. I know you all love each other and you want to have positive relations with each other in the class and hopefully beyond the class, and I support that and applaud that. But this is separating people from the problems. I want your honest, detailed, professional analysis. All of you are going to have strengths that deserve to be recognized, but you also will have a learning curve with applying the material of this course to your own family mediation. And so this is your opportunity to show me the best of your course knowledge, the best of the course reading, as you're also evaluating a couple of classmates. There's nothing personal about this. It will be happening hopefully in an objective manner with all of you. I may not agree with your critique, your evaluation. I will be evaluating you based on course knowledge and also NCRP spirit, that it's professional, that it's not nasty, unprofessional in any way. Okay, the next page has my grading rubric. And most of you have never had a course with me before. You need to read this and use it to proofread and improve whatever assignment you are turning in for grading, because it's quite literal. I'm quite open with you and I'm quite consistent. This is exactly what I look for in giving points. Going on to the next page, at the very top, you will see a list of criteria to help you carefully proofread and edit your writing before submission. Believe it or not, every course I have at least one student who, if they just used spell check and had corrected their misspellings, they probably would have earned a couple of more points. Some of you really struggle with writing. Most of us struggle to some degree. So we're there with you. But I encourage you to work, if you live close to campus, with our PEGS tutors, or to come up with your own writing plan. You might hire a tutor to help you. Any investment you can make in carefully proofreading and correcting your writing almost inevitably will increase your points. Okay, I've got a couple of campus policies on this page. I also have a policy that if you submit your assignments late, you lose a grade level for every day that is late, unless you've had some kind of medical emergency with a doctor's note, family emergency with, sometimes you send me a memorial funeral announcement. Of course, I'll be flexible. But otherwise, out of fairness to your classmates, you need to submit on time if you want to get the fullest possible points. Okay, I have now reached page 5, the calendar, and I'll be wrapping up in a few minutes. I just want to review this with you. Each week, you will see the general topics we are covering, the weekly activities, what I request that you do these activities every week, and then the weekly reading. And generally, I'm going to ask you to read both texts each week. Occasionally, I focus on one rather than the other. I have my reasons. It's to try to help you with learning. I have an optional activity for those of you with an interest in building your own mediation practice. Now, it might be too much for you to do this optional activity along with the rest. That's fine. It's not going to affect your grade. I would suggest you just keep the syllabus until long after the class so that you take these steps to increase your chances of success. Now, the reading is week 1. I expect you will have finished it week 1 and be demonstrating that you've done it in the week 2 activities postings. So you have some time to get oriented this week. I continue to do this week by week. Please refer to your syllabus weekly. Refer to it more when you are proofreading and creating a Turnitin assignment. If you go to page 7, you will see that you will be starting to do your simulations halfway through the course. You're going to need to work out with each other the time and the ways that you will do these simulations. I will be posting the actual background material, and you are welcome to do the simulations with each other, taking turns as mediators and parties. If you do it, on phone or, online Skype, I ask you figure out a way to record what you're doing so that we can view your efforts and evaluate your efforts. Some of you might find it easier to ask friends to be the parties. You will give them the background facts. You'll then use a webcam or a tape recorder and you'll tape. Whatever you do is fine with me. Make it work for yourself. If you go to page 8, you'll see the due date for your midterm via Turnitin, and you will see the same if you continue to the end of the syllabus for your final. Your final is actually due week 11 because I'm asked to submit grades very quickly after that last day of class, and you deserve that I take the time to carefully review your final work. I will continue, though, to work with you through that final week. I think I've given you enough information to digest for 1 week. Please write me with any and all questions. I'm here to support you in doing your best. Have a great week. Great.